Okay, recording for Diti. The second question we are discussing root 3 to be irrational. We'll assume first root 3 is rational. So सबसे पहले if root 3 is rational इसका मतलब root 3 is equals to a by b. Numerator by denominator की format में होगा where b can never be 0 and a and b are co-prime integers. Or in some places you will find a and b are integers, and if there is any common factor of a and b, you have cut that already. We have cut that already. So now A and B are co-prime. That is how even you will see it somewhere. Okay. So, but at the end you have to take it co-prime only, no? Because rational numbers in their standard form, they are co-prime. So we are taking here A and B as rational number in the standard format. That is A and B. They are co-prime where B is not equals to 0. Okay. Now, if this is the thing, you will transpose this to the other side. This is B root 3 is equals to A. Squaring both sides. Squaring both sides. This will be B square. Root 3 ka square will be 3. So 3B square is equals to A square. Right? Now, this B square is equals to A square by 3. Now I have transposed this 3 to the other side, made it divided by 3 there. Now from this, can I draw the same conclusion that if A square is divisible by 3, then A will also be divisible by 3. So I'll write A will be divisible by 3. Right, bacha? And now you know if A is divisible by 3, can I represent A as 3 into something? Something can be C. है ना? This I have explained just now. एक और example के साथ समझा देती हूँ. If A is divisible by 3, let's say A is 27. That is divisible by 3, right? Why is this 27 divisible by 3? Because 27 is 3 times something by 3. So this 3 से 3 gone. Abhi यहाँ पर something will be 9. But this I am not looking for. I am not interested in whatever is this. I have taken that to be C. I have taken this to be C. I am interested in this 3. That since 27 is divisible by 3, iska matlab it can be represented as 3 into something. And that 3 into something is 3 into C. Right or not, bache? Now I'll again do squaring. Squaring both sides. Now it will be A square is equals to 9C square. Now I'll put this A square ka value in this equation that I have. So it will be 3B square is equals to A square ki jagah I am writing 9C square. Now this 3 coming to that side getting cut. B square is equals to 3C square. Now this 3 coming back here will be B square by 3 is equals to C square. नहीं भी लेके जाते, इसको ही पहले इधर ट्रांसपोज कर लेते, डजंट मैटर. अभी मुझे ये कंक्लूजन फिर से यहाँ से मिल गया कि नाउ B इज डिविजिबल बाय 3, क्योंकि B स्क्वायर 3 से डिविजिबल हो रहा है, इसका मतलब B इज ऑल्सो डिविजिबल बाय 3. राइट और नॉट बच्चे? If B is divisible by 3, that means A and B are not co-prime. इसका मतलब our assumption is incorrect. इसका मतलब root 3 is irrational. Understood or not, everyone?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, साची बच्चे.
मैम मेरे को ये समझ आ गया, but मैम like when I write it, मैम जैसे मैंने उसको learn किया, like रट्टा मारा है. अब मेरे को logically I cannot write it down, like नहीं, because some steps I forget only, मैम. मैम मेरे को
विथ प्रैक्टिस अभी एक और रूट 5 करेंगे और ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल हो जाओगे बच्चे. स्लोली एक्चुअली व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, पहले आप ये कंक्लूड कर रहे हो दोनों में से कि आप सबसे पहले बोल रहे हो कि आई नो द न्यूमरेटर इज डिविजिबल बाय 3. then you are representing that numerator into the form of 3 into something, right? और अगर वो 3 into something है, तो अब आपने उसको स्क्वायर करके फर्स्ट इक्वेशन से इक्वेट किया, and now you know that denominator is also divisible by 3. So numerator and denominator both are divisible by 3. That means they are not co-prime.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear everyone?
Excuse me, ma'am.
साची गुप्ता, टीवी देख रहे हैं बच्चे? फिर व्हाट इज दैट? उधर किधर व्हाट इज देयर जो डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर रहा है बच्चा? कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आया साची अच्छे से? ओके, लास्ट वन वी आर डूइंग.
Ma'am.
बोलो बच्चा बोलो.
Ma'am, तो इसमें basically you're trying to conclude कि by taking the relation between A and B as common factor, sorry, having a common factor 3, you're concluding that 3 is an irrational number.
Of course बेटा, every time you have rational numbers उसका स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म क्या है? They are co-prime, right?
Yes, ma'am.
तो ये तो कह रहे हैं यहाँ co-prime हो ही नहीं सकता. तो अगर ये co-prime नहीं हो सकता, इसका मतलब ये rational नहीं हो सकता बेटा.
Ma'am, तो why are we
Every rational number has to be co-prime sometime, no?
Yes, ma'am.
तो ये तो co-prime कभी हो ही नहीं सकता ना बच्चे.
Ma'am, exactly.
तो
हाँ, तो उसी
co-prime
का
नहीं हो
relation
सकता, इसका
निकालना।
मतलब ये rational नहीं हो सकता कभी.
Yes, ma'am, get it.
ठीक है, आया समझ में?
Yes.
इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि सीधा co-prime नहीं है तो इसीलिए irrational कैसा हो गया. क्लियर? वो क्योंकि every rational number has to come to a state where the HCF of numerator and denominator is 1. Every number 1 by 3, 1 by 5 in its least form, they have HCF 1. They are co-prime sometimes. लेकिन ये उस फॉर्मेट में कभी भी हो ही नहीं सकता है.
Yes, ma'am.
क्लियर हो गया?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now moving on to the last example of it so that I can quickly conclude with this, and I will discuss another example now. So root 5 के लिए we are proving is irrational. जल्दी से can someone tell me how to do it?
Ma'am, can
Gauri?
I?
Gauri.
Ma'am, can I, ma'am?
Oh, Gauri will tell me. Gauri, quickly.
Ma'am,
Start.
can
Let's
I,
start. Enough. Gauri, go ahead. जल्दी.
First we assume if root 5 is rational.
Okay.
तुम भी ट्रेनिंग करना.
कोई बात नहीं गौरी, दैट इज परफेक्टली ओके. कोई बात नहीं,
Sorry,
यू
ma'am.
यू कैरी ऑन है. गौरी कोई बात नहीं बच्चा, यू कैरी ऑन बेटा. दैट इज परफेक्टली ओके बेटू. डोंट वेस्ट टाइम, गो अहेड.
Sorry, ma'am. Ma'am,
Hello.
root 5 is equal to P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q are integers and co-primes.
ओके
Ma'am,
Now.
then ma'am, Q by root 5 is equal to P. Q into root 5 is equal to
ओके.
P.
क्यू रूट 5 इज पी. ओके
Ma'am, then we'll square at both sides.
ओके.
Ma'am, then 5Q is equal to P square.
5q square is equals to p square बेटा.
5Q square. Yes, ma'am. And then ma'am, Q square is equal to P square by 5.
वेरी नाइस.
Ma'am, then ma'am,
द
P is
कंक्लूजन.
divisible by 5.
So conclusion, if p square by 5 is q square, like you are getting a square value from here, no? A rational value from this. That means p square is divisible by 5. If p square is divisible by 5, that means p is also divisible by 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So p is divisible by 5 is the first conclusion you have drawn from here. So numerator is divisible by 5. You've got to know that. Now what? If that is divisible by 5, can I write p to be 5? What number you want to use now? Use r then.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other new variable you have to use, right? Now
Yes.
what?
Ma'am, then we'll square at both sides.
So p square is equals to 25 r square. Then
Yes. And then ma'am,
go to the first equation and put this value.
yes, ma'am. Equating equation 1 and equation 2.
So देखो 5q square equals to p square था, 5q square equals to, instead of writing p square, I have written the p square's value, which is 25r square.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Ma'am,
25 से 5 getting
Q
simplified,
square.
q square is equals to 5r square. Now
Ma'am, then we'll conclude that Q is also divisible with 5.
yes, q square by 5 is r square. That means 5 is q square is q is divisible by 5 also. Now
Ma'am, that proves our assumption wrong.
absolutely correct. Good one. Is there anyone in the class जिसको ये समझ में नहीं आया हो अभी तक? Is there anyone in the class? पूर्वी बच्चे?
Ma'am, understood.
साची गुप्ता, सृष्टि, श्रेया,
Ma'am, I understood this.
अर्नव,
मैम आ गया मैम समझ में मैम.
okay, very good. चलो, now I am discussing the next type of question wherein they give you irrational number in the form of addition and subtraction of a rational number with an irrational number, or rational number divided by irrational number. That kind of irrational number they ask you to prove irrational. So like I'm proving here 2 plus root 5 to be irrational now. And this is very easy. Because here you already know root 5 is irrational, so this will be very easy now. Okay. Now 2 plus root 5 is irrational. I will assume that 2 plus root 5 is rational. Right or not, bache? So abhi 2 plus root 5, if it is rational, that means it is in the form of a by b, where b is not never equals to 0 and a and b are co-prime integers. Right, bache? Now I can write this here as root 5 is equals to a by b minus 2. A and b, it is rational. Rational minus rational will be a rational thing or not. So you know, you'll write we know a by b minus 2 is rational. But we also know root 5 is, या फिर आप ऐसे लिख दो but की जगह यहाँ पर root 5 is equals to rational. This is incorrect. Root 5 we know it's irrational. इसका मतलब है again our assumption is wrong, hence 2 plus root 5 is irrational. यहाँ पर आपको root 5 को again you need not prove it irrational. You can just use your previous fact that we know root 5 is irrational. Hence this conclusion here is incorrect. That means our assumption is wrong. Understood everyone or not? Maitri, क्या हुआ बच्चा? Not getting it.
Ma'am, I understood.
Is there anyone who didn't get this?
मैम
Yes, Tanish बच्चे.
मैम अब अलग से रूट 5 को निकाल के मैम फिर उसके बाद उसको प्रूफ करके मैम हम क्लोजर प्रॉपर्टी नहीं लगा सकते मैम? क्लोजर की मैम क्या बोलते मैम? मैम पहले हम रूट 5 को अलग निकाल के मैम उसको इरेशनल प्रूफ करेंगे मैम, उसके बाद 2 प्लस रूट 5 को वो करेंगे
वो आपको यही तो कंक्लूड करना सिखा रहे हैं कि रैशनल प्लस इरैशनल इज आल्सो इरैशनल. आप कह रहे हो कि आप उसे यूज करोगे कि एक चीज इरैशनल है प्लस रैशनल इज इरैशनल, लेकिन आई एम टेलिंग यू कि व्हाई. अंडरस्टूड तनिष और नॉट? है ना। आप कह रहे हो कि मैम मैं पहले √5 को प्रूव कर दूंगा इररेशनल एंड देन आई से +2 तो इररेशनल ही होगा। यही तो प्रूफ करना है, क्यों होगा। एक और क्वेश्चन करें, सब्ट्रैक्शन में कर लेते हैं। 2 - √5 को इररेशनल प्रूफ करता है।
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम,
2 - √5 इज इक्वल्स टू a/b हो जाएगा। एक्चुअली इसमें पता है क्या है, फ्रेमवर्क क्या है, रूट को अलग से लेकर जाओ। इस क्वेश्चन में भी रूट अलग रह गया, यहाँ पर भी इस रूट को अलग लेकर जाएंगे। कैसे? 2 - a/b इज इक्वल्स टू √5। So you will prove, अरे ये तो रैशनल है, I know 2 - some rational number, it is rational, है ना। हमने किया है ना ये कि क्लोजर प्रॉपर्टी, rational numbers minus rational number is always a rational number. So this is the rational number we know is equal to √5, right or no? Abhi, √5 is irrational, but we know √5 is irrational, hence our assumption is wrong. इसीलिए 2 - √5 is irrational. Clear or not, बच्चे?
मैम अगर ये 5 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन में आया तो पहले √5 को इरेशनल प्रूफ करके फिर करना
नहीं
होगा।
आएगा बच्चे, आएगा ही नहीं, आएगा ही नहीं।
मैम √5 रैशनल कैसे हो गया?
वही तो कह रही हूँ बेटा, √5 रैशनल नहीं है, यही तो एजम्पशन इनकरेक्ट है बच्चा।
ओके
यहाँ देखो, आपने जो क्लोजर प्रॉपर्टी की है रैशनल नंबर्स की, जब प्रॉपर्टीज पढ़ी थी आपने पढ़ा था कि सब्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ रैशनल नंबर्स दे गेट यू ओनली अ रैशनल नंबर, है ना। So subtraction of rational numbers, they are closed. It is only division in the rational numbers which is not closed, right? So here you are subtracting two rational numbers, so obviously the answer should be a rational number. So you are getting a rational number here which is equals to a √2, which is not true. You know √5 is irrational. Now because your conclusion is on the contrary to the fact that √5 is irrational, that means your assumption here is wrong. That this can never be in the form of a/b, where b is never equals to 0 and a and b are co-prime. Understood, Srishti, or not?
मैम समझ नहीं आया मैम ये।
बच्चे इसके अंदर what have I done is I have like always I have assumed that √5 2 - √5 is in the form of rational number which is a/b, where b is not, ये लिखना है, you cannot skip writing this b not equals to 0, a and b and co-prime, right? तो अभी आप यहाँ पे ये चीजें ऐड करने के बाद यू राइट नाउ, देखो a/b को आपने इधर ट्रांसपोज किया, √5 को यू आर ट्राइंग टू कीप इट सेपरेट ऑन वन साइड. Why are you trying to do that? Because whatever you get rational equals to that irrational number, your assumption will go wrong. That is why that thing will be proved to be irrational. So यहाँ पर when you transpose a/b to this side and √5 to the other side, you know subtraction of two rational number is always rational. So the answer to 2 - a/b should be irrational, right? Now if this is rational, a rational number equals to √5 is not correct. Because √5 is irrational, you know. So your conclusion and your assumption, they are both going contrary to each other. इसका मतलब the assumption is wrong. Clear? एक लास्ट और पार्ट करते हैं इस पे, कुछ भी 1/√5 is irrational. Prove 1/√5 to be irrational. कैसे करेंगे इसे? लेट्स assume 1 by root 5 is rational, मतलब in the form of a by b, where b can never be 0 and a and b are co-prime integers. Now cross multiply. So why cross multiply? Let's like bring things back. What it will be? Root 5 going there, root 5a by is equals to b into 1 or b. मुझे तो मैंने आपको बोला what is my prime target framework, there is I'll try to leave root 5 alone. So root 5 is equals to b by a, right or not? Now you know b by a is also rational. If this is rational, root 2, root 5 is coming equals to rational, which is not true. Root 5 तो actually is irrational. इसका मतलब our assumption is wrong. Hence, 1 by root 5 is also irrational. Getting it or not, everyone?
हम लास्ट वाला नहीं समझ रहे.
Can you repeat, please?
बच्चा देखो यहाँ पर if you have proven b by root 5 is equals to b by a, you know b by a is what? That is irrational. You know root 5 is equals to b by a, which is rational. So now you are proving root 5 equals to rational, which is not true. You know root 5 is irrational. Hence, your conclusion is going incorrect. That means your assumption is incorrect. Root 1 by root 5 can never be shown in the form of p by q or a by b. That means it is irrational.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Bitaji.
Ma'am, but then our sir is telling कि without doing proper, ma'am, like you came to the second step where there was root 5a equals b. Ma'am, so he told us to do it in the previous method of doing it instead of doing it a shorter way.
I have not applied any shorter way here, bache.
No, ma'am, in the sense b by a being rational. Ma'am,
B
can you
by A?
please repeat this again?
बेटा ऐसा ही करना है इसको. root 5 equals to b by a. You will tell that b by a is rational. How will you prove b by a now rational or irrational?
मैम वो दोनों साइड में कुछ स्क्वायर करके वो लास्ट टाइम की तरह ही
इसमें नहीं करना है वो. Because you already know no root 5 का process. ये जो questions आते हैं ना, they'll only come in 2 marker. That part, the first that we did for 3 questions, we attempted for that question. That question comes in 3 marks or like 4, maximum 4. वैसे तो generally they are 3 markers.
Okay, ma'am.
ये वाले तो there'll be 2 markers only. Okay.
Ma'am, I'll make a note of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we are done with this. Let me open up the NCERT. And let's see if there is any part that I have missed. Give me 1 minute to check that. Okay, so Kavish has asked me the smart question that I look for every year. He's saying we know A by B mein B is not equals to 0, but we don't know that A is also not 0. And if in the last question where you have proved root 5 equals to B by A, if in this case A is equals to 0, then also that is irrational. That is not rational, no? That number doesn't apply any good then, no? So, B by A, how are we proving it to be rational now? So, for that although in these questions you write that directly, that B by A is a rational number. But I'll tell you one thing here. Okay, you people know that B is not equals to 0, right? So, B has got some value. So, if I in case take A to be 0, मान लेते A is 0. हाँ, तो A by B format में root 5 equals to, when you have assumed that A by B, तो वो तो 0 हो गया ना, and root 5 can never be equals to 0. So कोई तो question ही नहीं start हुआ. If in case A is equals to 0, then need not do anything here क्योंकि question तो खत्म ही हो गया. Root 5 is not 0. Understood? So question में a is also not equals to 0. That is why we are doing so much. Right or not? Clear or
Yes,
not
ma'am.
everyone? है ना काविश? So इसीलिए इसको प्रूव करने की जरूरत नहीं है. That's very logical कि अगर आप a को 0 ले रहे हैं तो वो a by b में रैशनल तो हो गया, लेकिन क्वेश्चन ही खत्म हो गया बेटा. √5 इक्वल्स टू a by b मतलब √5 इक्वल्स टू 0. √5 कैन नेवर बी इक्वल्स टू 0. सो वो तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं स्टार्ट होता, खत्म ही हो जाता. इसीलिए हमें मालूम है कि a इज सम नंबर और b by a इसीलिए इज रैशनल अगेन. क्लियर और नॉट एवरीवन? बट लिखने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है इसको. ओके
Yes.
Abhi, now in this exercise that I can see on screen, this is the last exercise of chapter 1. Exercise 1.2, √5 irrational proof करना है. We have already done 3 of this sort. Then next one addition में proof करना है. आपको mind frame ये रखना है कि you will try to keep √5 separate. You will try to bring that √5 separate. Whatever is on the other side, because of the closure properties, you will tell that to be rational. And if that is rational, equals to √5 can never be possible. इसीलिए your assumption is incorrect. Then rest, all the types we have already covered. है ना? So you will be able to complete this exercise as your assignment for today.